today we are starting an interesting playthrough on this stream here. We're going to be using mods, which I honestly don't do very often whatsoever. However, I was encouraged by one of our new channel members that this is a good mod and it deserved a second look, and then when I looked into it and saw that it was about pirates, I figured, what the hell, why not? So we are going to be using two different mods. The first and most important one here is Port Lime, the Buccaneers. So this is going to allow us to play as the Buccaneers. There's two different leaders we can choose from, but we'll get into that once we look at our actual civilization we're picking. And then I also enabled this other mod here, better coastal cities and water tiles, and it gives a few minor adjacencies and whatnot, and basically makes water tiles a little bit better in our cities. So I figured, what the hell, why not? If any time I was going to put it on, I might as well do it now. And that impacts the other civs as well, so it's not like we're going to have an unfair advantage over the AI by any means. Alright, so let us get into this. Now, I'm going to put it on a standard size map to start with here. As far as the map type goes, I'm honestly a little bit torn. I'm not entirely sure of whether I want to go with archipelago or something like small continents might be better. So, or even splintered fractal for that matter. But I'm going to keep thinking about that for now. In the meantime, let's go into the advanced setup of the game. Alright, so I'm going to be putting the world age on new, as I like hills and mountains and whatnot. And then as far as the rainfall goes, we're also going to put that on wet, so we have lots of jungles and forests in the game. Other than that, though, we are going to be playing with Mr. Black Bartholomew Roberts. So, what he allows us to do is naval units within 2 tiles of a Great Admiral have a chance to capture enemy ships. Naval units generate +1 Great Admiral points for each first level promotion earned. So I'm judging by this that we want to double promote our Navy units then, and we'll generate a shit ton of Great Admiral points, it looks like. Again, I haven't, just as forewarning, I haven't played through this at all. I haven't even tried a game off screen with the Civ or anything like that, so I'm not 100% sold on what we're going to do. However, continuing on here, so the Buccaneers are the Brethren of the Coast. Pillaging districts and plundering trade routes grants doubled rewards, so that sounds interesting. Pillaging tiles and defeating units causes a burst of loyalty. Okay, so I guess it's sort of like the Mapuche or whatever they're called. Coastal cities immediately join the Buccaneers upon succumbing to Buccaneer loyalty pressure. Okay, so that's really interesting. I guess it's sort of like a real combination between like the Mapuche having that loyalty effect, but then also like almost like a mini Eleanor, whereas our pillaging tiles doesn't force them to become a free city. It forces them to join our civilization right away. So that's pretty cool. And then they have a ship that replaces the frigate called the Razé, +1 movement, and may conduct coastal raids. Okay, so that's interesting as well. So we can pillage the coast. That's nice. And it has +5 combat strength when fighting damaged units. Okay. And our unique district is the Pirate Haven. Replaces the harbor. It generates 1 food and 2 gold on all coast tiles in the city with or adjacent to a friendly naval unit. Okay, what? I'm going to have to read that again here. So, generates +1 food and +2 gold on all coast tiles in the city with or adjacent to a friendly naval unit. Okay, generates +2 Great Admiral points per turn, +2 loyalty per turn, +2 amenities. Alright, so essentially then, we're also going to want to keep probably a ship or 2 at home close to our cities to trigger that boost a little bit. So that's definitely going to be an interesting way to look at this game here. But we are going to go ahead and pick Black Bart Roberts as our Civ leader. Now, as far as who else we're going to put in the game, I want to add in all the civilizations who have whatchamacallit, a naval unit of some sort. So we're going to put Guitarja in here. Of all the Englands, we're obviously, sorry, I got distracted. I was going to say, of all the Englands, we're going with Queen Elizabeth, but we're obviously going to go ahead and put Harold in here, 100%. Oh, I guess Dido has her unique unit as well. That's fine. The Dutch have their thing as well, so Wilhelmina's going to join us. And, as we said, Victoria will put in. And then last but not least, who else are we going to pick? My fellow free men and women, today we sail the seas to plunder and become wealthy. However, beware, the tides rise to meet us, but have no fear. Gamer Grampz is here. Well then, that is an interesting way to get us started on our pirate playthrough. Alright, so Q says small continents. Install Invader says probably small continents is your best bet. Splintered Fractal usually makes for unfun games because no production. Alright, so we got 2 votes for small continents. I concur. Not that it matters because I'm not important, but we're going to go for that. We got all of our players set. New World Age, Wet Rainfall. Other than that, we are all... Oh, shit. I'm glad I looked up. We definitely don't want to play on Prince difficulty, do we? So we're going to throw that on DD real quick, and we'll go ahead and start the game. Ugh. And just so everybody has a heads up, I'm probably not going to play for very, very long tonight. Definitely not as long as I normally stream for. I'm not feeling good. I almost didn't stream at all tonight. Like, I really wasn't going to. I think I'm getting the flu. But I decided to say I went for like a real long nap. I napped for about 3 hours and decided to just say fuck it. And I'd give it a shot. So we'll stream for a little bit. But like I said, probably not going to be... Sorry, I'm getting distracted. It's just so weird to not hear Sean Bean reading. I was like, is it not loading properly? And I forgot that I'm playing with a modded Civ. So it says, Black Bart Roberts. Avast, Captain Roberts. Your swashbucklers and scallywags lust after booty and the sea teems with swag. The code dictates that I make sail for the treasure ships of the high seas and blast the landlubbers that venture in your waters. Let them know fear as you raise other great pirates throughout the ocean. Claim your true mantle of the Admiral of the Leeward Islands. Aboard your own royal fortune. Drink up, Bartholomew Roberts, for 'tis a pirate's life for thee. There you go. Well, I'm no Sean Bean, but at least I read through it. So here we go. We've loaded up. Let's begin the game. Fingers crossed that we're going to get a decent start. And holy shit. You saw me create the game. This isn't fixed, but that is one sick ass start. Oh, it's purdy. All right. Well. Poopy doopy doopy doo. The only thing that's a little bit unfortunate about this start is that there doesn't seem to be any spot for us to make a decent campus. Humble Monkey's in here. What's up, boss? Stoked for this playthrough. Hey, thanks, Humble. I'm excited for it too. I haven't played a naval domination game in a long frickin' time, and better yet, I haven't played as this pirate civilization ever, so this is really interesting for me too. I used to love, there's a bunch of pirate games that I played, like Cutthroats from like Ito's Entertainment, like a long time ago I loved, and then even like Sid Meier's Pirates back in the day, like once upon a time ago. I'm hoping that maybe we can get a campus over here. And to that end, I think I'm going to settle the diamonds and take a turn to settle. We'll be closer to hopefully what will be some sort of campus location we can use. We're definitely going to go for mining first because we'll have to chop something most likely. What the hell? Well, this is not a good start to the game. I don't know if you can hear me incessantly clicking, but I'm not able to pick. That was weird. Let's see if it's fixed. Huh. I don't know if this is... I might have to reload the game or something. This is going to be a pain in the ass to go into the technology tree every time I want to frickin' research something. But yeah, so I think we're going to go ahead and move on to the diamonds, and we'll settle them next turn. In the meantime, let's go ahead and start wandering along with our friendly buccaneers over here. Now, hopefully we can find a good spot where we can settle on the coast. In fact, 1, 2, 3... Maybe I should have settled here so that we could settle a coast city, but oh well. Too late now. Arctic says, hey dude, good luck and have fun. Well, thank you very much, Arctic. Hopefully we'll have fun, and hopefully I won't need your good luck. Nemesis finally made it here. He says, hey, how's it going? It's going pretty shitty, to be honest. I've had a rough day. I think I'm getting the flu. I wasn't going to stream, but I decided to say screw it. I got it like a good long nap and feeling a little bit better, so I figured I'd tough it out for a little bit at least. And then Jawad says, are you playing with the new naval update? What new naval update is that, Jawad? I don't know. I don't know what new naval update you're talking about. And then as far as who we are playing with, though, we are playing with a modded civilization here. We are pirates. So you can see here that naval units within 2 tiles of a Great Admiral have a chance to capture enemy ships. And naval units generate +1 Great Admiral points for each level, for each first level promotion earned. Pillaging districts and plundering trade routes is doubled. Pillaging tiles and defeating units can cause a burst of loyalty. Coastal cities immediately join the Buccaneers upon succumbing to Buccaneer loyalty pressure. And then we have a ship that replaces the frigate, has an extra slot of movement, and then may also conduct coastal raids, as well as +5 combat strength when fighting damaged units. And then Pirate Haven is our unique district, which replaces the harbor, generates +1 food and +2 gold on all coast tiles in the city with or adjacent to a friendly naval unit. It also generates +2 Great Admiral points per turn and +2 loyalty per turn, as well as +2 amenities. There, that is the last time I'm reading that. But yeah, Jawad, if you want to explain what naval update are you talking about, because I have no clue. Alright. The one with the better admirals and science adjacency. Oh yeah, okay, sorry. Yes, I definitely am playing with that. I play on Steam, so my game is, like, I have my game set to automatically load. Like, I always play with the latest patch, whatever that happens to be. So yes, I definitely am. Alright, with our warrior, let's go ahead and cross over the river here. I want to follow the coast because I really want to be able to find some nice coastal cities so that we can get our navy up and running. It would be nice... Ooh, Jesus, talk about a mountain range. Well, at least I was correct in assuming that we would find a nice location for our campus here. So, that is a beauty. Alright, speaking of which, let's take a look at our technology tree here, because it has been a fucking long time since I've played a naval tech game. So I think because we want to get up, like, I am a huge sucker for frigates. I'm not gonna lie, they're like my favorite unit. We want to get up the Navy path as quickly as we can. However, it changes things, and it honestly is a pain in the ass to get these different districts. So I think what we want to do is first go into mine. Well, actually, we don't even need to go into mining now, do we? Because we don't need to chop that campus. However, I would like to be able to get these stone up online, and I think all in all, it might not be a bad thing in case we do need to start chopping in certain one of our cities. So we will go with mining first. That will also give us a bit of time to... Then we're going to go towards writing in order to get our campuses up online, because we need to have science in order to propel us through this tech tree so that we can get to our lovely frigates. Not to mention that gives us a little bit of time to play around and to get a settler out so we can found our second city, which will give us the boost towards sailing so that we don't have to waste all those unnecessary turns researching it without getting the Eureka. As far as what we are going to do here, though, I think... Well, I guess technically we are on a small continent. However, I'm not really worried. I'm going to open up with the slinger first, and that's just so hopefully I can end up getting a kill with the slinger in order to get the boost towards archery. I always try and do everything I can to end up getting our boosts here to make our life a little bit easier while we go through the science tree. Not to mention, because it's a small continent, I don't really see the need to get a scout. I'm very content in even getting a dark age, to be honest. I'd be perfectly fine with that, because I like to rebound into a heroic age, and when you're playing on an island map, if you don't meet anybody right away, sometimes that's easy to do. So it's not such a bad thing necessarily. So it does look like we have a river here, so hopefully it goes down to the coast, and we have a decent location over here. And it seems to do so. Now, I guess we can go ahead and plop a city down here. However, we don't have a lot of tiles that are really nice to choose from. So let's hope to find a better location up here to the northeast, or sorry, northwest I should say, or down here further to the southeast. Jesus, hello mountains. All right. Make it tough for me. Go ahead, that's fine. All right, well, it doesn't seem like it's going to be easy for us to explore on our little island here. So be it, I guess. Let's head up back this way. I want barbarian camps to spawn, so at the very least we can get some free gold if we don't want them from the air score. So there is this confuzzles me. There's a scout here. Oh, is this not the end? Is that just a river? I'm whoa. Wow, I need to pay more attention. Is this just a river and not the coast? It is, I'm like 99% sure now. It's just a river and not the coast. So let's definitely go ahead and delete that crappy city tile. In the meantime, we got our slinger here, so we'll start headed towards the north with them. And I'm going immediately into a settler. Nemesis says, yikes. Yes, yikes indeed. Choad's correct, though. He says super defensive, though. Alright, so we are going to take a shot at this scout. It always goes a long way towards getting off to a good start if you can manage to get the boost to bronze working, which is killing 3 barbarian units. So this is actually very nice. We got the barbarian scout here in our little trap. So we'll head down here. We'll heal up for a turn, and then we'll go after him next turn. Meanwhile here, we are going to just skip our turn and let the barbarian scout come towards us. This is because the spearman who is in the barbarian camp will normally come out to attack us automatically for seeing a ranged unit. However, with the jungle being there, I do not think he can see us immediately, so we should be good to take a free shot at the scout when it ventures this way, if it does. Alright, so I want to come back to our city here. Good. Now that we've expanded to the sugar, I wanted to make sure that we are working it there for growth. In case you don't know, it is always better to pick growth over anything else in the very early game. The quicker you get your city's population up, the more productive you're going to be. Like, it's much better for us to delay this settler temporarily and meanwhile force our growth, which will, like, look how many 2-2 tiles we have to work. So the quicker we build population for them to actually work these tiles, we will far surpass how productive and how positive it would have been to just work these tiles from the beginning.
When you find yourself in a hole,
all right.
Quit digging.
So apparently it didn't work because the spearmen could actually see us because of the scout, so they came out to play with us. That's fine. We can definitely take a shot. It's not like they're going to outright kill us, so we'll just start getting some experience. We will have to retreat and head back towards the safety of our city. That is fine. In the meantime, we are going to go ahead and move up one spot here with the with the warrior. I'm pretty sure we can take one more shot. Famous last words. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot them there. We should be able to survive this shot and then either take the promotion and keep going. Otherwise, I will just retreat to the city. So we're going to go ahead and attack the scout here. And now, when they cross the river, we should be able to finish them off next turn because of the movement penalty for crossing the river. We will still be able to hit them even if they come all the way down there. And that was a big screw up on my part. Rip scouts. Well, it was a nice thought while it lasted. I guess I should have retreated after all. And normally I would retreat to play it safe, and I obviously should have there. So Stefan says, do you ever use the scout policy at the start? Very good question. Is it Stefan or... Yeah, it's Stefan, right? Yeah, not Steven. Is it Stefan or Stefan? I should ask. But he asks, do you ever use the scout policy at the start? Yes, I do. I always use the scout policy at the start, except for the fact that we are on a small continent map, and so there's not very much for us to explore. So this time I will be going into the discipline policy card. Otherwise, if I'm on a normal map like a Pangea or a continent or anything of that sort, I will almost always go for the survey policy card first, because I like to try and get a lot of times I open up with 2 scouts, like not all the time, but a lot of them, and I always try and get my 2 scouts their first promotion before switching back into discipline, because generally speaking, you don't have to deal with barbarians as quickly as we seem to here. And it's Steven? Okay. And Michael Ramos laughed at, and I'm assuming that's because you laughed at our dying slinger there. So I'll forgive you this time. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish off that scout there. In the meantime, I think what I'll probably do is end up buying another slinger and then go finish off the spearmen up there. However, let's move slowly with our warrior here. Let's come down and heal up. Now, we still haven't explored to the north, though, and that settler's getting here awfully quick. I'm just looking at considering where to build my governor plaza or government plaza. That's all. 1, 2, 3. I'd prefer to settle a city in the north, to be completely honest. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of productive tiles down here. I mean, there's a few shops, but nothing really too crazy so far. That's good to know. I don't think I ever used that policy. Okay, yeah, like it really goes a long way towards helping you get your scouts leveled quicker, because you get literally double the experience. So, like, anytime you meet another civilization with that scout, or you get a goodie hut with that scout, it doubles the amount of experience you get. What it also does the same thing for combat. So if you're out and about with your scout, fuck me, wow, special. But if you're traveling around with a scout, even if you just see a barbarian unit, if you attack the unit, you end up getting 8 experience points for it, as long as you haven't already received your first promotion. So it really helps you level up your scouts very quickly, which is a big deal, because the faster you get your scouts leveled up, the easier they traverse the terrain, which means you can discover things quicker, which helps you get era score quicker. So that's why it, in my opinion, is a very good idea to slot in the scout policy card first. But again, so I would normally, this is where I would slot it in. I would normally go for survey first, and then I generally speaking will almost always switch out of survey and into discipline once I get to either foreign trade or wow, brain fart. Once I get to foreign trade or the other one, I can't think of the name right now for the life of me. So this time, though, because of all the barbarians and the fact that we're playing on a small continents map, we're just going to put in discipline. However, we do want to get a pantheon eventually, so we'll go ahead and put the God King in as well. And craftsmanship, there you go. Alright, so speaking of craftsmanship, we do not have 3 tiles within our city's borders that are easily improved. We have 2, this stone here. So because of that, we are definitely going to go towards foreign trade. Not to mention the fact that we are on what looks to be a continent divide of some sort with all this huge mountain range. It really makes it likely that if we go to one of these tiles here, or at least just keep following the mountain range down, that we will end up discovering the second continent to get the boost for foreign trade. So we got 5 more turns, 4 more on the settler now. I'm not paying attention at all to our city because they're all 2-2 tiles, other than the 5 food tile that I have locked in. So that's why I'm not paying any attention whatsoever. Nemesis says rapper. Yeah, I got a bright career ahead of me in the rap game, man. Watch out. The white Canadian rapper from Northern Canada. Alright, unfortunately we didn't get lucky enough to see it there. However, this would be a very pretty campus location, so let's go ahead and slot that in. And then I guess I'm still not sure which one of these to do. I suppose the bottom one, since we'd be able to work the rice that much faster. But it depends on... Oops, cancel. It depends if there's more tiles down here to chop. Otherwise, we'd switch to this one here. But I really would like to go up north with that settler. Next turn, we're going to go ahead and buy a slinger and try and go finish off that bard camp. In the meantime, we're just going to start exploring by one tile at a time with our warrior here until he heals up. So Michael Ramos says, do you value district adjacency or overall placement versus tile yields and resources? I always find myself not placing stuff like Governor Plaza or struggling to decide if I should remove a resource to get more district adjacency bonuses, etc. So when you're talking about removing resources, you're talking about removing like the rice here, or like sheep and shit, like that. You mean? I always harvest sheep. Always. You're much better off to chop things out than you are to not chop things out in this game, and that's because, for instance, here's a good example. I'm going to go into strategic mode so you can see. So here we have all this jungle. Well, so all these jungle tiles plus these forests are all on hills. So they're 2 tiles to start with. However, if we go chop that forest, that is a ton of production that we can use towards building a wonder. And then we can just go ahead and put a mine on top of this hill, and it's going to give us the exact same thing as if the forest was there, except for we get to use those resources towards better things and speeding up growing our empire. Now, the other thing, I always used to, for the longest time, with the government plaza, I always tried to figure out like the perfect place to put it and like to just get everything so sweet. But then I've realized that it's a lot more important to winning early. Like if you want to win fast and be effective, it's way more important to just place it down and start getting it constructed and be ready to start constructing your ancestral hall as soon as you get to political philosophy, in my opinion anyway. Now 1, 2, 3, so I'm thinking if we end up getting bronze working, that I put the government plaza right here, to be honest. If we do, right, 1, 2, 3, yeah, I'm thinking of putting it here. And if we do, then I would definitely switch this to right here. Because while it's not perfect, I still would like to get some adjacencies in here. So then what I would probably do is 1, 2, 3. Actually, you know what? That's not very good. I would put this here. That there, so that this could be... Oh wait, do I want a commercial hub even? Since we're going to be getting harbors? Oh yeah. I'll figure it out later. See, like I'm half baked, like not literally. I haven't been smoking weed, but I'm freaking still out of sorts. I'm not on my A game by any means. I'm under the weather and I'm not thinking the best. But the point I was trying to make is that it's less important to get your government plaza getting you perfect adjacencies, combining it with other districts, than it is to just get it down and start getting the improvements, and then to start chopping out your settlers using the colonization policy card and the ancestral hall building. However, I really do value district adjacency, don't get me wrong. I just don't value district adjacency from the government plaza as much, and I would always chop resources because it's much better to get the population growth and the little bit of production from harvesting the sheep than to leave the sheep there, in my opinion anyway. So I hope that answered your question, even though I'm rambling, because I'm freaking half there right now. Alright, so the one thing that is not so nice about not meeting anybody is the lack of a boost towards writing. Ugh. Oh shit, I forgot to buy the frickin' slinger. Oh, my bad. Well, at least it was a productive flood. We got all those tiles were boosted, so that's nice. Alright. Now we are going to go into a monument right away. We need to get our culture game going. In the meantime, we are going to follow... I'm just going to roll the dice and we're going to go north with our settler, because I really don't like this for production-wise, so I'm really, really hoping that we find a better coastal city up here to the north. But one way, we'll find out sooner or later, I guess. In the meantime, I'm going to move to the jungle hill here with the slinger. So Michael says, I see. Yep, you answered it. Thanks. I tend to want to keep every resource like rocks, bananas, etc. versus chopping them, which is why I never build wonders either. Laugh out loud. I need to start implementing those in my game. Yeah, like, so there's... Take it with a grain of salt, okay? So basically, when you're doing chops, your chops are really shitty in the early game. Like, very shitty. Like, they really suck. Because the more technologies and the more civics you have researched, the more production and food you get from making those chops. So even with Magnus established in the early game, you're not really going to get a whole lot from chopping your resources. So you really want to minimize it in the very beginning of the game. So what I would suggest doing is save in your first city here, save your chops for chopping out settlers, but then it is worth it to just like chop, chop, chop and get rid of all this so that you get your settlers out quickly. But other than that, I would not chop anything out, or almost anything, until you start going for your first wonder of the game. So either the Oracle is always a good choice, because even on DD you can almost always get it, and it's great for both culture and science games. Or the pyramids are also another great choice, but again, that's very dependent on whether you have a desert tile or not to work with. Let's move our warrior down a little bit further. Speaking of desert tiles... Oh, do you smell a Petra coming? Because I do. That is actually some sick fucking Petra tiles. Wow. I wonder how many hills there are. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to move the settler to here. Because I was hoping to discover the other continent there. I am a little worried about the scout, that once we kill this spearman, the barbarian scout is going to be triggered and might gobble up our settler. Oh, nice. We met Harold. Sure, we'd love to sample your hospitality. Ooh, what the hell? I can't click on anything with him. So, I'm going to try reloading this again. Oh, and we found the Dead Sea as well. Cool. Bear with me. Let's try opening it up and see. Oh no, it's working now. Okay, never mind. So Harold is on our island as well, towards the bottom here. I really would like to see how many... Oh my god. Oh my god. This is gonna be a sick Petra site. I'm thinking right here to settle. Even though I'm thinking about settling right there. Even though it gets rid of one of the desert hills we would be working, it seems to get us a lot more. And this way, by settling here, we at least have 3 chops that we can put towards Petra. Which means 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that would work if we take, as long as we take the this city location here that would still work for that. Now, again, we're trying to settle on the coast here, so even though it's not the smartest, I'm going to move up there. Oh, beautiful. So we got the boost towards foreign trade, so that's nice. So there definitely is more production up here, though. I'm very happy that we moved in this direction with the settler. However, I don't like settling on these tiles and getting rid of their thing. I'm thinking what we might do is settle on the sheep right here, actually. And now we've met, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Well, I guess I am. Gazergamu. We met Gazergamu, but we did not get a first meet on them. They want us to train a galley, though, which we will be doing fairly shortly, so that is fine. We'll definitely be getting an envoy with them, which will help us. How many hill... Oh my god, it just keeps getting better. This is going to be a nice Petra City, my friends. A nice Petra City indeed. Alright, so now that we've decided we're going to settle on these sheep here, let's go ahead and finish... Oh, actually, hold on. Yeah. Let's finish off the spearmen. Okay, so Q says, I have my Petra in a place like that. Right on. Well, happy to hear it, Q. It is a very nice place indeed. I am getting a little chubby here just looking at it. But Michael says, who are we playing as? We are playing as Black Bartholomew Roberts and the Buccaneer Empire. I've already been over all these and read through them twice. So if you want to read up on what we get, just pause the stream with the screen up there and you can read through it yourself quickly. But essentially, I'll give you the TLDR version of it, is they get a lot of great admiral points. If we have a great admiral nearby, we have a chance of taking over ships. And then they sort of have like a combination of the Mapuche bonus, where if you kill units inside of their own territory, or if you pillage tiles also inside of their own territory, if it's a coastal city, they lose loyalty and they'll flip to you, sort of like Eleanor, and then they have a unique harbor as well. Speaking of which, is this not a coastal tile? Just in time. No, it is. Okay, good. Good. We are good to go. Michael Ramos says, that's what I thought. Looks funny. Makes me think of the Peter Pan pirate. You're right. It does look like Captain Hook. Alright, so we are definitely going to go ahead and finish off... Well, never mind then. I take that back. We were going to try to finish off the spearmen, but we weren't quite able to. That's fine. Next turn, we're going to go ahead and settle with the city up there. We're going to save our gold now. Okay, first we're going to finish off this dude. We got the boost towards archery, which is nice. We are going to settle the city. That gives us the boost towards sailing, which is perfect. After we get writing here to unlock our campus, we are going to immediately pivot into sailing. As far as what we're producing in the next city, I want to get our culture game going as quickly as we can. So we're going to go straight into a monument. As far as what tiles we're working, we are going to force them to work the marsh over here. And again, that's because growth is always better than production, in my opinion. And especially in the early game. Speaking of which, we're only 3 turns away from the monument here. So that is very nice. And now, as far as Where are we going to place... Still haven't 100% made up my mind as to where we're going to place our... place our government plaza. I'm just thinking about whether or not I want to whatchamacallit, sorry. I'm getting distracted trying to think and talk at the same time. I'm wondering whether or not I want to place it, and I'm trying to think of where I also want to build a wonder, if I want to go ahead and even try building a wonder. I think I definitely do. However, I think we're going to build... I normally go with like the Oracle and shit, but we're playing a Navy game, so by God, we should make some Navy fucking wonders. And I'm just... It's been so long that I need to take a look at which ones we want to prioritize. Whether we want to go for Colossus or the Great Lighthouse. So, +1 trade route capacity, grants a trader unit, must be built on the coast, adjacent to a harbor district. I'm thinking that we go with the Great Lighthouse, having the +1 movement for all naval units. Yeah, that's a much better option in my opinion. The +1 movement for all naval units must be built on the coast and adjacent to land in a harbor district with a lighthouse. So, seeing as how that's the case, just a shame we don't have any sea resources to get a really nice harbor adjacency going here. However, I guess we'd want to build the harbor here since we would get the most gold from it. Or a pirate haven, forgive me. Because it would still get +2 gold from being adjacent to the city. And then... So I suppose... we would build the Great Lighthouse here. Because then we can chop the stone to get it. So then if we're going to chop the stone to get it... probably go ahead and... build their campus here. It would be a +2 to start with. But if we did it there... it would be +3, but we're going to be chopping those jungles, so maybe not. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not functioning at 100% today by any means. Alright. We'll figure it out slowly but surely. So, one thing I do know is that we definitely want to go ahead and drop our campus here. So we're happily going to pay for that. Get that bad boy locked into production. However, we are definitely going to finish building our monument here. In the meantime, what we are going to do is allow the slinger to move forward so that we can take the first shot. So we'll skip our turn there. Meanwhile, we finished writing here. I want to go... we want to get towards celestial navigation as quickly as we can. However, it's a ways away down there. So we can definitely go into sailing first, which will allow us to actually improve some sea resources once we can. Not that we have a whole lot to work with at this point, to be completely honest, but we'll go ahead and skip the turn here.
Every nation lives by
You can see
exchanging.
Harold is out and about with his Viking longships already. We want to get our own galleys up and out very quickly so that we trigger Harold's leadership ability, or not leadership ability. I should say leadership bias or agenda. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is a nice spot. Whereas he likes civilizations with navies and dislikes those who don't have them. So the quicker we can actually get some navy units out, the quicker Harold will like us. Let's go ahead and hit them there. It unlocks a promotion for us and gets us one step closer to getting the Eureka for bronze working, because I believe this is our 3rd barbarian unit, right? We killed the spearman first. It will be our 3rd, because we killed the scout with our warrior over here. This will be our 3rd one, which will give us the boost for bronze working. I'm going to be so pissed if they frickin' snipe this slinger on us with their stupid longship. In the meantime, though, we are definitely going to go towards early empire. Alright, nice. So they moved off on their own merry way. We're going to go ahead and take the promotion of volley to get +5 range strength versus land units. And it looks like I think this might be their scout coming back, because it hasn't been triggered yet. But I'm not 100% sure, so time will tell, I suppose. In the meantime, over here, we finished our monument, so now we're going to go ahead and get started on that campus. And the reason I'm exploring up here is because I want to see if there's any good locations up here. Plus, the terrain is a lot better on our half of the island. However, I do want to get down there and get this city established fairly quickly, because I don't want frickin' Harold to snipe it on us. Like, that is one sick-ass Petra site, and I definitely want to take advantage. So I think after our campus, we'll go straight into a 3rd settler and immediately send it down to get that city going. Even though it won't be the greatest city to start with, it will secure us our sexy, sexy Petra. Alright, we got the boost towards early empire since our city is growing so damn quickly, which is what we like to see. In the meantime, now that this city's hit 4 population, we're going to manage the citizen again, and I'm not going to actually unlock... I'm going to unlock the food district because... we are going to be getting into our negative... If we look at the details, we're going to be getting into a negative housing multiplier very quickly, because we are getting close to our housing limit. Like, we're at 4 to 6. So after we get to, in 4 turns, once we get to 5 population, I will actually have them not work that tile anymore, because you're better off getting production from it. In the meantime, let's go ahead, swing back over there. We got our boost towards bronze working, and next turn we will take out that barbarian camp and get ourselves a little bit of air score. Again, not worried about heading into a dark age. That's fine. Looks like there's a city-state here. Unfortunately, it looks like it's a religious city-state for us. Oh, such a sexy city-state. If only we were playing a religious game. In case you don't know, Yerevan is like the god city-state for a religious victory game, and I've like been playing non-stop religion games for the past 3 days because I've been getting footage. I'm doing a religious strategy video coming soon. It should be up this week, actually, and in both my playthroughs that I did, I won once in 121 turns, and the other one I won in 142 turns. However, I did not have Yerevan in either of the games, and it was so disappointing because it's such a sick city-state. Like, if you look at Their suzerain bonus. Your apostle units can choose from any possible promotion instead of receiving a random one. Oh my god, like, it is so unbelievably powerful in a religious game. But anyway, at least they have a nice little city-state quest for us there. Trigger Eureka for the wheel. However, we don't really have anything that we can mine, because quarries don't count. And that amber is in the water, so it does not count as building a mine on it, I do believe. Jackson says pirates can be religious. They can, I suppose. I mean, I guess we could pivot into a religious-based pirate game. We could buy our land units with faith and get our army that way. Okay, hold on. Let's get a quick vote in the chat. Who all thinks we should try and get a religion going quickly here? There's only 2 civilizations so far are earning any great profit points, and they're only earning 1 each, so barely any whatsoever. Do you think we should quickly pivot towards astrology, since we need to get it in order to get our in order to get our pirate havens unlocked anyway, and try and kind of use the combination of faith for our economy rather than gold? Or should we just stick with gold? Because then we could pick interesting things, like, for religion-wise, we could go ahead and pick, like, Crusade or something, where we get, like, plus 10 combat strength. And we could try and do, like, a religious, like, having spreading our religion as we spread our empire across the world. Alright, so we got military tradition for conquering the barbarian camp over here. Let's just keep on moving onward and forward with our slinger. We'll heal up quickly and take advantage of being in the city, and then continue on our merry way that way. Jackson says, I was just kidding, I vote gold. Okay. Oh yeah, speaking of, there's so many members in the chat. Like, I see Nemesis and Jackson's there, and then earlier, I'm surprised you guys didn't spam me. Don't forget that we have those emojis now, right? So, like, in chat, you can, when I screw up, if you go, if you go colon dumbass colon, but with no spaces, like I just put on there, you can do, yeah, you can do, like, Red Foreman. You can call me a Grampz or a dumbass with Red Foreman from that 70s show. Or there's, like, colon special. Colon is if you don't put the spaces in. There's, like, the special unicorn for calling me stupid when I make a mistake. Or, yeah, Nemesis got it. Or, if I actually manage to do something good, there's colon space. Legendary is, I don't know how old any of you are, or if you've ever watched the show, but How I Met Your Mother, there's Barney Stinson. So there's the legendary, and then there's also what other one? Dumbass, special, legendary. There's money. So if I do something good, you can shove a fistful of cash down my G-string or whatever by doing money. And then there's, what other ones did I do? Oh, and then if you want, there's war and peace also. So war is a nuclear freaking bomb going off, and then, not that I expect anybody to ever tell me to make peace, but if you really wanted to, there's the dove thing as well. Jackson says, which one for when you forget to get the slinger kill boost for archery? Jackson, what are you talking about? Ye of little faith, we got the slinger kill boost for archery. We killed their slinger with our slinger. Remember? Where is it? Archery. Oh, we don't even have animal husbandry. Archery. We got the boost for killing them. So I should get a legendary for that, or a fistful of money shoved down my boxers. All right, let's get going here and continue on our merry way. All right, so there's still... I'm thinking we just kill Yerevan is what I'm thinking, personally. That is looking awfully good to me. Like, they are going to be our first victim, because they have a nice location, and I would prefer to kill them before they get a holy site up online, if we can do that. So Harold's already starting to chirp us because we don't have a navy yet, which is fine. We need 280 gold in order to get that navy online. We also need irrigation to get our sugar up and running. And also tobacco is on the island, so we are going to head in that direction right now. We've gotten... we've already gotten pottery, so we're on the way there at least. We're going to put some turns into irrigation. I'll probably switch out of it because we do have a resource we can farm down here at some point. However... Oh, if we want to secure that Petra city, it's kind of cutting it, close. Nemesis laughs and says, "Didn't your scout die though?" Laugh out loud. Yes, my first slinger did die. Jackson says war and drops the nuke emoji. So I have your support then, is what you're telling me, Jackson, for us to go ahead and attack Yerevan? What the hell? Did that freaking guy just disappear? So Harold actually sent us a delegation, so let's send him a delegation. And we might become friends temporarily before we start pissing everybody off by becoming a warmonger. But at least if we declare friends with him, we don't have to worry about him attacking us. And then that gives us free reign to settle the rest of our island in peace before we attack him. So it just basically gives us a little insurance policy, almost. Okay, and I guess what that, like, it looked like a glitch when the Norwegian unit disappeared out of here, like, instantly. What it was they locked their borders, so they got booted out. So their unit got booted out somewhere over here. Oh, I forgot to switch to this too. So we definitely want to go ahead and get rid of that now. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and grab this tile here, and then what we are going to do is force them to work all of these tiles and not the food tile anymore. And we'll finish our campus and then get to work on some builders. It'll actually, or some builders, I mean settlers. It'll be nice too because we can put the colonization policy card on to give us some help. Jigsaw says money of Petra, or Jose, not sorry, I read it wrong. Jose, you need to be a member to get those things, unfortunately. The little emojis are only unlocked if you become a member of the channel. But don't worry, I get your wad of Petra. I get the spirit of what you're trying to say, and so we definitely will be going down there to settle that awesome Petra site. In the meantime, though, we're going to heal up. But yeah, what I mean by becoming a member is you'd have to go here to the site, or to the channel, and you have to join. Click this button and join to become a member for
hey everybody
for $5 a month there, whatever, if you want to unlock those emojis. But no pressure to do so. I got what the spirit of what you're saying. I understand it completely, so don't worry, my friend. We are going to get us some money with that Petra. So we got the boost towards state workforce is nice. Ugh, that's only 3 chops for the Petra. Hopefully nobody else really tries to go for it. Alright, so it's going to allow us to get that online. I think what we will do is just research irrigation, because I would much rather settle this city and secure our sexy Petra rather than get this one here just to get that rice bonus online. So we're going to go ahead and settle that. Hey Rick, how's it going? So Rick's joined us. He says, so what's up with the buck mod? I've seen a lot of people playing this. I literally was just told about it, I was just told about it from another one of my members, Daniel, mentioned it to me, and he said it was fun to play with, and I haven't ever played it, so I figured what the hell, I give it a shot. I'll open this up here for you. I've already read it twice though, so just quickly pause the stream, Rick, and read through this quickly. Otherwise, I'll give you a TLDR version. We have a unique frigate that has +1 movement, but then it also, the frigate can pillage the coast, like, so it can coastal raid like it's a Viking longship. That's our unique unit. We have a unique harbor, which is called a pirate haven, and aside from giving us an extra great admiral point, it also allows us to whatchamacallit, we get extra food and extra gold if we have a ship in our coastal adjacency. So like if we have a harbor here, anytime we have a ship of ours in any of these coastal tiles, we get plus food and plus gold for having it there, which is kind of interesting, I think. And then there's some other stuff, like if we pillage tiles in other people's territory, they take loyalty hits, and the same thing is if we kill their units in their territory, so we can like instantly flip their cities to us. If they are on the coast, they automatically convert to us. Q says, just fired up my civs, you guys got me jonesing. And Nemesis says, the thought counts though, man. You're right, Jose. Or you're right. The thought is what counts, like I said. So Jose's heart was in the right place. Alright, we've completed our campus. We are immediately going to go into another settler here. Next turn, we'll put the colonization card in and get it out that much quicker. Meanwhile, we'll keep on looking on our merry way here with the Buccaneers.
Back over the past.
Alright, we've got an early empire. We still need... Oh, I forgot though, we can't slot colonization in. Hold on. What was their frickin' their mission here? Trigger Eureka for the wheel. Is there anywhere... We still haven't even found something that we can mine in order to trigger the Eureka. So, unfortunately, we can't put in colonization because... Actually, you know what? Screw it. We're so late to the Pantheon anyway that we're going to get a shitty Pantheon, so let's switch out of that and let's go in colonization for now. And we'll go ahead and confirm that. Now, I'm not putting in maritime industries because we are not going to be building our galleys. We are going to be buying our first galley, and so there's no point having that production card in as of yet. I want to get our cities established first before we go ahead and do that. Alright, in the meantime, we're definitely going to head towards craftsmanship now, even though we're nowhere near close. So what we'll probably do is just end up hard researching it. Right, because we don't need... Yeah. Let's just go straight towards political philosophy. We'll hard research craftsmanship. It's not the end of the world. Alright, and we're definitely going into a dark age here. I'm not really worried about it. We don't have any cities that are immediately close to Herald. However, that is going to kind of hurt our... That is going to hurt our Petra city down here, which leads me to believe that maybe we should actually settle this city first. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is switch out of irrigation and we'll go into astrology since we already boosted it, because we need to get it in order to unlock our pirate haven. And that way, because Herald, I think, is going to go into a golden age here. Let's just double check, but they almost always do. Yeah, Herald's at 37 era score, so he's going into a golden age. And so I think settling this city first it's going to be impossible to hold it because of loyalty issues. But we'll double check that once the settler comes out. But I think it's going to be like -20 because we're going into a dark age. So I think we are much safer to settle this city first so that their population will help give our city here more loyalty. But time will tell. Okay, so we've reached the end of our island here. There is a nice spot for a harbor if we settle here. I really try to avoid settling on forests because I don't like wasting the production instead of chopping it. However, that doesn't look too bad a setup, and it's still doable with the Yerevan right there. Rick says, "Oh cool, sounds fun." Yeah, it's been forever since I've played a naval domination game. I'm kind of rusty at it, to tell you the complete truth. I'm not going to lie. Alright, we're blocked in here anyway by their warriors, so we might as well just go ahead and heal up. In the meantime, with our slinger, we're going to keep exploring. We don't seem to have a lot of rivers, unless it's just me. Not in our northern section, anyway. I want to move in a little bit too because I want to see what the tiles are like on the other side of these mountains, if there's nice spots for campuses and other such things. So Stonehenge and Hanging Gardens are gone. Q says, I love the city-state Kolkia getting to build the mounds of... Oh, Cathokia. Yeah. Getting to build the Cathokia mounds plus food plus gold amenity and an amenity. Yeah. It is an amazing city-state no matter what kind of game you're playing. It's basically always useful, which is nice. Compared to, like, Yerevan, which, like, completely sucks unless you're playing a religious game. Like... Alright, we got our settler done here. I'm not even going to stop. I don't care. We're just going to go straight into another settler immediately. We've finished astrology now, which means we can get towards celestial navigation. Improving 2 series though, improving to C resources, though, is going to be a bit of a tough call. We'd have to get a builder here and here, essentially, to do it. But that's what we're going to try and do. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get this slinger to head back towards the coast here. And the same thing with our warrior. We're just going to follow along and kind of meet up over here. At least we ended up being on the right side of our continent. We have quite a bit of land that we can plop down some cities in. And it looks like we are too late. Oh, never mind. Oh yeah, right here, there, it's under construction. We are too late. We weren't able to prevent them from making a holy site. So there's no rush to go ahead and kill them anymore. We'll just go ahead and do that once we get our army up and running. Alright, so we entered the classical era, headed into a dark age as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at our dedication. So we are going to be taking the free inquiry dedication. Gain +1 air score each time you trigger Eureka. +1 air score for constructing a building that provides a science base yield. The reason for this being, A, we're going to be building a few more campuses because we have such nice mountain range we want to take advantage of. But B, in the very early game anyway, it's a lot easier to trigger boosts, Eurekas for technologies, because you're going to be doing most of these things anyway. Like building a quarry, we have like 4 different stones, so we're definitely going to be doing that. The mining a resource one so far is a little bit problematic. However, we're going to farm a resource. So that'll be another one right there. We're going to send a trade route. Hopefully we're going to improve 2 sea resources. We are definitely going to own 2 galleys. So again, we're going to be getting a lot of these bonuses inherently, so it's just a lot easier to earn era score with that card compared to, like, we don't have a religion, so we're obviously not spreading a religion to anybody, so that one's out. And at this point in the game, the Eurekas are easier to come by than the boosts for the civics, because a lot of these we aren't necessarily going to be doing them, and if we are going to be doing them, we'll probably already be past their specific thing. Like building a wonder, we might already have drama and poetry done by then. We're not founding a religion, etc., etc. So, like, we're not getting construction right away. We're not getting declared war on, most likely. Knock on wood, I should say, right? Hey, 112 years is back. Good to see you, man. It's been a while. A long while. Haven't played Civ 6 for a while. What's Civ 6 Pirates? A mod? Can't find it on Steam. Yes, it is a mod, and it is on Steam. The Civ 6 Pirates is not the technical name for it. It's actually called... Oh, it doesn't say it here, does it? Fuck, what was it called? It's like... Limes or something? Civ... Yeah, it doesn't say there. Hold on, wait a second. If I open the menu here, it'll tell me what mods I'm using. Just 1 second. Right here. So it's called the mod is called Port Lime, the Buccaneers. So that's its official name, and you can find it on Steam if you go and look for it. And if you don't mind sharing, what's your name, 112, or would you just prefer I call you 112? I'm just trying to think of something that's easy to refer to you when I'm reading what you're saying in chat. You know what? I've been thinking a little bit about it. And let's see here. We already have the huge food tile in the capital. Which reminds me, we need to go back and unlock these so we start working that food tile again now that we're under 5 population since we built a settler. However, I was just thinking about it. And I'm so instinctively, I always go for the government plaza, but then I always go for Ancestral Hall unless I'm playing a domination game. Well, I am playing a domination game, and we're only going to be founding like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cities, and we already have. Oh wait, 6 cities, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cities. Wait, 2 more in there. So we're only going to be founding 1, 2, 3 more cities, possibly 4 more. So you know what? It doesn't make sense to go with the Ancestral Hall at all. We'll definitely go with Warlord's Throne. And as far as our districts go, I think, well, we obviously don't have a choice for this one. We'll be putting our Pirate Haven here because it's the only tile that we can build a Pirate Haven on. So I think with that being said, I think what we'll do is go ahead and put our government plaza here. And that way it can help. Oh, maybe not. You know what? Maybe we build it with this city. Yeah, that's a bad location. We're going to go here. We're going to build it with that city to start with. We'll build a government plaza there, which will turn this into a +4 Pirate Haven when we get it, because we still haven't even technically unlocked the Pirate Haven yet, so that's fine. Meanwhile, we do have a governor unlocked. So, let's go, we're gonna go with Magnus. Actually, you know what? Oops. Almost pulled down my studio light. I'm not gonna go with Magnus first, I'm gonna go with Liang first, and that's because, she gives a free extra builder charge, and we're going to be getting some builders because I don't want to chop anything until I have anything, or until I have something worth chopping. So I think we'll definitely go ahead and get Liang first as a change of pace. So we'll go ahead and get her in, and for now we'll put her in the capital. However, when we settle this city here, we'll move her down there so that our borders expand faster. But first, probably after this settler, we'll switch into Ilkham and start producing a builder. And then we'll, after we let the capital with its big population and high production make a builder, then we'll switch her down to the newer city. Alright. So at least there's a river here as well. Which makes me want to cry. Well, not really. We just won't be settling directly on the coast, which is fine. Oops. I'd want to settle there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we definitely want to settle there so we didn't ruin the stone. But that's looking better and better. At least we have Ooh, some pretty diamonds over here to settle. But it looks like this city in this area will not be freshwater. We probably... Oh, no, we won't be able to get two. Looks like there's a volcano here as well. Or here, for that matter, I suppose. So this city technically can reach the diamonds at some point later. I'm thinking that we probably settle right here on the cattle. And that way we have these marshes to help us grow quicker. We can also eat them. Oh, actually, you know what? This would be a sick harbor. Do I act? I normally don't do it. No. Never mind. I think settling on the marsh is by far the better city here, actually, come to think of it. Because it gives us access to all these 2-2 tiles earlier, and it still allows us to go ahead and scoot up here to build a harbor right here. Or a harbor, a pirate haven, I mean. Because that'll be a nice bonus. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be a +4 though, but that's fine. Like, if we did settle there, it would be a much better pirate haven. However, then we'd be kind of basically shitting on all these nice tiles in here because we wouldn't have a city that would be able to reach them. So I think that's still the better choice. Hey Daniel, how's it going? He says, did you just start? Pretty much, man. We're only, well, 45 turns in, so I guess we didn't just start, like, 2 seconds ago, but we're not too deep into the game. Ponzi420 says, hey bros, check out my cartoon Zig and Zag on Facebook. There you go, some free publicity. Not that there's a whole lot of people watching this. And Daniel says, and what map? We went with a small continents map, Daniel. And by the way, Daniel, because you're a member, you can get these. I've gotten the 6 new emojis up and running, so you can call me, if you don't use the spaces here, you can call me a dumbass like Red Foreman. I don't know if you're old enough to know what that 70s show is. And then we also have Legendary. If I actually do something good. There's Special. If you want to call me stupid again if I make a mistake. And then there's 3 other ones too that only members can use. So it's a little bit unfair, but feel free to spam me in the chat as much as you want. Alright, so we finally got our monument up online here, which gives us a nice little boost to that. Now, I think what we're going to do is go ahead and go with a builder here. And then meanwhile, we'll switch out of colonization and we'll go into Ilkum to get the plus 30% towards builders. And now I wouldn't mind getting isolationalism here once we get our cities up and running, since we don't have that many more. I mean, once we get this city founded, that city founded. So hold on. We're doing this one first, but then 1, 2, 3, 4 cities isn't that much, especially if we end up buying a settler over here as well. So that might be a legitimate thing for us to pursue. Oh yeah, and in case anybody watching the stream is wondering what I keep talking about when I'm saying the emojis, you got these these emojis here, like Red Foreman for dumbass, legendary. You got Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother, the special unicorn, or up here I'll show the other ones. There's peace, war, or money too. If you want to shove a wad full of cash into my boxers, if I do something well, you can put in money. But again, you have to be a member of my actual YouTube page in order to unlock those things. So whether or not you think joining and paying $5 a month is worth getting those emojis or not, and getting access to the members only live stream is another thing altogether. But hey, if I don't mention it and if I don't bring it up, a lot of people aren't going to know about it because it is YouTube, and memberships are not as common as, say, like Twitch, where like people subscribe to. It's just a regular thing. It's built into like the culture of Twitch, whereas YouTube, having the memberships is more of a new concept. All right, so it looks like we pretty much explored our entire island here. 1, 2, 3. I guess we could get another city right here-ish. It never would be an amazing city, but... Actually, considering it wouldn't be an amazing city, yeah, let's not even worry about it. However, I will send the slinger over there to go ahead and just see that last little piece of land. Speaking of which, we'll come in here and take a look around. Alright, here we go. We're gonna drop our first city. Or our second city. And here we're immediately going to start work on a builder as well. Again, we're saving up to 280 gold so we can buy a galley fairly quickly here. Alright, so I think what we'll do is just slowly come on back here with our warrior and make our way back to where we're going to settle the Petra city next. This city is going to grow quickly, and it will continue to grow quickly since it has these nice tiles. It has the four food tile, and we'll soon have the rice up and running as well. So we will definitely be getting better production there. I really am tempted to buy tiles, however, we can't really afford it at this point, so we'll just have to deal with that. With this slinger, let's get him to head back, and we're going to park on where we're building that city there. Daniel says you can pillage absurd amounts of gold. Yeah, as soon as we get into a war, we will definitely be doing that, and I don't know if you were here when we talked about it or not, Daniel, but we are definitely going to be going for a war. A war versus Yerevan.
It is equally important to have a happy and engaged
All right, we got
workforce
state workforce here.
to have a profit.
So as we already talked about, we are going to be building our government plaza there, and instead of, since we don't have very many cities to settle, we're going to be going for a warlord's throne building rather than the ancestral hall like I normally do, since we only have like 4 more cities that we're going to be settling. There's just not very much advantage to it. So Bonzi says, thanks for the shout out, you're awesome. Yeah, no problem. As long as you're not spamming things, there's no harm in bringing things up and mentioning them. Alright, so we got our builder here. Oh, I forgot to switch out of Celestial Navigation. That's actually bad on my part. However, we're only 2 turns away from it now, so it doesn't hurt. Let's just go ahead and get that. I'm not going to go ahead and get these stone online since we're going to be harvesting to build the great light. Ooh, I can't even talk. To build the great lighthouse. However, actually, I'll get one of them online since it's the boost for whatchamacallit, for masonry. Build a quarry, so we'll build that quarry, and then that'll give us some era score anyway. So now that we have state workforce, we are going straight to political philosophy. And in the meantime, now that we have another governor promotion, we're going to go ahead and appoint Magnus to Portobello. And that way he'll be in place for when we start chopping towards our great lighthouse wonder. Alright, so we finished the builder there. In 2 turns, we're going to start work on our pirate haven. So in the meantime, let's just go ahead and start, I guess, on a trader.
Set your course by the stars.
Alright. So we're going to go ahead and drop our first pirate haven right here. However, we're going to allow them to finish the trader first. Now, meanwhile, here in the capital, as soon as we finish this settler, we're going to go right into making a builder, since we still have the Ilkham policy card up online. Alright, now that we've finished Celestial Navigation, let's take another look at things here. We still don't really need to chop any jungle, because this city's going to be chopping stone and lumber to get our great lighthouse, so that's not really an issue. Actually, I'm going to change my mind. Screw the trader. We're going to go ahead and just go right into the pirate haven, because I'll build the trader from our capital since it has higher production anyway, and we want to get this pirate haven up and running as quickly as possible, so that, because we still have to build the city's lighthouse after this before we can start working on the great lighthouse. And seeing as how we're playing on a map with so much water, the DDAI will probably also be attempting to get the great lighthouse. Q says my rock bands are melting faces. Right on. So is that still, that's the game you were playing with Persia, Q? That's the one that you're having trouble getting the seaside resorts, but so you switched to rock bands and you're doing well that way. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here when trying to talk. All right, so what we are going to do is head towards shipbuilding. Now, I'm going to do my utmost to not screw this one up, and we will switch out of it after we do most of the work, but we'll definitely be owning 2 galleys. Speaking of galleys, we're getting close to 280 gold, where we're going to buy our first one. And Q says yes. Okay, right on. Alright, so let's go ahead and get that. We got the boost towards masonry, which is a little, well, this is a little bit of extra production for the city here. Not much, but it's also an era score. Now, hold on, I just want to see. Building a camp is not a boost for anything, right? No, it's not. Okay. No worries, just wanted to double check that building a camp wasn't a boost there, otherwise I would have gone and got animal husbandry real quick. But as it stands, we're going to be harvesting this deer anyways for production, so not a big deal there. Now we'll be improving the sugar. and then improving. Yeah. Sorry, I'm talking, but I'm really thinking at the same time. It's not a good combination here. So what we'll do is we'll get our builder friend to just go actually hang out on this stone up here. Alright, we're finished this settler, so now... Oh, see, the loyalties... that's not that bad, actually. +4 loyalty. So, going ahead and getting Port Royal built first and getting their population up really helped us out, because this would have been really, really bad loyalty. As you can see, like, it's -19 and -20 right here, but because we're closer to our city there, it helped us out immensely. So, that is awesome. We're almost there. Next turn, we can go ahead and... Let's actually... Oh, I forgot that we had diamonds up online. I totally forgot that we settled on the diamonds. That was my bad. Should have done that a long time ago. And Harold, for some reason, I don't know why, Harold pays an absurd amount for open borders. Like, a very absurd amount. Like, 72. Out of all the civilizations in the game, he will pay you tons for open borders. Like, I've had him pay me 111 gold for open borders, which is insane. Like, normally the highest you ever get, like, most civilizations, if you're, like, declared friends and everything, is, like, 52 to 56 gold, where Harold will, like, double that. It's crazy. But I completely forgot about our diamonds. That was a huge oversight on my part. Very, very sloppy. I cannot state... Ooh, nice. Harold, you are a generous man, my friend. There we go. We got cash now, don't we, boys? So Bonzi says, can you guys embark yet? Might be some goodies up north. And Daniel beat me to it, but he says not until a shipbuilding tech, which allows all land units to embark. The only units of ours that can embark right now are builders, unfortunately. So, out of the question. However, we are definitely heading up there right now that we have the money. We're going to be buying a galley right here. And we are actually going to buy a second galley as well. Oh, we got to move the galley next turn. Well, wait, never mind. We can buy one down here. Fuck them, we're not waiting till next turn. So there we go. We got our 2 galleys. We got the boost towards shipbuilding, which is important because these are the ships that we want. Because these are the ships that I want to get experience for. These are the ones that turn into frigates later. Our galleys turn into caravels. And I am much more concerned with getting frigates and starting to bombard coastal cities and getting our frigates promoted, especially so we can get them promoted up until getting +1 range and then also being able to attack and stuff. It's always nice to get to your quadremes as quickly as you can and getting them up and at them. Meanwhile, our settler friend here is going to mosey straight on down to found our lovely, lovely Petra city here. It'll be nice too because we'll harvest these 2 sheep to get whatchamacallit, to get their population up as well. Alright, so in the meantime, now that we have that settler on the way, we only have 3 other settlers to go, actually. Alright, so now Harold's going to start getting real friendly with us because we have a navy now, so we triggered his bonus. In case you don't know, he has the leadership ability where he builds a large navy and respects civilizations who follow their lead, and he doesn't like civilizations who have a weak navy. So if we come over here to our relationships, we're still on the -13, but that's because we haven't had a navy. We are overcoming that, and we will soon trigger that ability once we get another ship or 2 out and running. In the meantime, though, it is finally time for us to start getting out there and exploring. So we are going to do so. First things first, let's go ahead and head over here to see what this city here has around it. Meanwhile, we'll tell our builder to go to sleep here. And we did send him a delegation already, right? Yeah, we did. Okay. Let's see. I don't think so, but let's see. Yeah, I didn't think so. You never know. Sometimes they surprise you, even if they have unfriendly. Alright, with our warrior here, we're going to have to move him back tile at a time. Oh, never mind. Yerevan blocked us off. We can't get through their territory. So that seems like a declaration of war to me, don't you? Like, that's a valid reason to declare war on them. They won't let us frickin' pass them. Unacceptable, because it actually does piss me off a little bit, because we have to wait until our settlers can embark now to get over to these tiles right here. We wouldn't be able to walk through. But realistically speaking, I just want to kill them anyway. Alright. Nice. It's an honor to meet you. Sure, we'd like to sample your hospitality. Now, I'm not wasting any money sending delegations to anybody. I sent a delegation to Norway earlier because they were on our island, and I wanted to settle these cities in peace before we turn to our focus is towards our armies and domination. However, everybody is going to hate us in this game, so there's no point wasting money sending delegations to them, because as soon as we start declaring war, they're going to absolutely hate us. Alright, so somebody is spreading the Catholicism religion. Nice. We met Antioch. Obviously, we're not going to be getting first meets on any of these places. However, I'm just laughing. Their quests trigger an inspiration for defensive tactics. I'm laughing because the way that you trigger the inspiration for defensive tactics is to get declared war on. So, I'm sorry, to me I found that funny. That is definitely a legendary quest from Antioch. Alright, we finished a builder here. I'm just going to go straight into a second builder. Why can't we build it? Oh, because let's go ahead and purchase their... Oh, we need $100 to purchase it? Jesus. Oh yeah, we got political philosophy, so let's go ahead and switch right now. We are going to switch into a classical republic. Alright, so now we have Ilkham slotted in. Let's go ahead. I suppose we can finally... where is it? Ilkham. We can finally put God King back in to get our pantheon. And then we'll put urban planning in as well for the +1 production in all cities, as well as charismatic leaders, so we can start earning some envoys. I think I'll get a trader before we get a builder. Meanwhile, civic-wise, we want to head towards mercenaries as quickly as humanly possible. And in case you don't know, the mercenaries unlocks the ability to get professional army policy card for the 50% gold discount when you upgrade, and also the 50% resource discount on all upgrades. Speaking of resources, now that I'm remembering to concentrate on it, we need to go ahead and, after we get shipbuilding, we need to go and get bronze working so that we can find some iron and make sure we have iron for our frigates. Otherwise, it is going to be a very disappointing pirate thing. Oh wait, it didn't say if our does our pirate ship. It doesn't say if our pirate ship requires iron. I assume it is. I assume it does because it replaces the frigate. But I guess we'll find out one way or the other. In the meantime, let's go with our builder, and we're gonna get ready to get that sugar up online as soon as this dumbass builder gets built. And you know what? We'll go ahead and buy them that tile. Now, it'll help them produce it a little bit quicker. Yeah, 6 turns until completed. And then, as soon as we get that, we can get our sugar up online as well. So we've secured ourselves a normal age, at least for the next era. Which is better than a kick in the pants. Now, son of a bitch! This is what I was talking about. That there's a lot of water on the screen. And yeah, so somebody already finished building the Great Lighthouse. Which really sucks for us because, like, honestly, the Colossus having an extra trade route capacity and a free trader unit for +3 gold and a Great Admiral point, I don't even know if that's worth it. I honestly don't think so. So I guess we go to defensive tactics next. Instead, and we're going to get our... I can never pronounce that properly. The mausoleum. Yeah, mausoleum at Holly Carniasis. Fuck it. We're just going to call it the mausoleum. So what do I need? It must be adjacent to a harbor owned by this city. Alright, +1 science, +1 faith, and +1 culture on all coast tiles for this city. Great engineers have an additional charge. Must be built adjacent to the harbor district. Alright, so we are going to beeline for defensive tactics instead. And that will be our consolation prize, which will be a lovely consolation prize, I might add. Here we'll just go ahead and put our warrior on alert for now. And I think I'm at the point where I don't care about moving these guys. I'm just going to put them on automated exploration for now. And the same thing with this galley as well. Except for when it disobeys my intentions. No, sir, you will not come up that way. I want you to travel down south. Alright, so somebody's spreading Islam towards us. All well and good as far as I'm concerned. Oh wait, we can actually swap with this tile. There we go. Can't believe I didn't do that earlier. So we'll swap that tile to get them to produce the builder even sooner. So we're down to 3 turns to produce it now. Meanwhile, we're going to have to buy that tile. But so be it. Alright, so we finished a lighthouse. Let's go ahead and... Or we finished the lighthouse. We finished the pirate haven, but let's go ahead and get a lighthouse here in the city. Meanwhile, we'll put that builder to sleep. All right. So I think what we're going to do is go ahead and send it to Yerevan. Now, I know that seems strange, but I want... Actually, you know what? We can just invade them from the water. Because I was thinking about doing that so that we build the road. And we can get our army there quicker. However, it would be a lot quicker to just come at them from the sea. Yeah, so never mind. What we are going to do, though, is wait until next turn when we build this city here for our Petra city. And then we're going to transfer our trader down to the Petra city and then have him do a trade route to get more food and production from our bigger cities. In the meantime now, let's go ahead and quickly squeak out another builder while we have that policy card in place. Jackson says, what districts do you just completely disregard? Jackson, what do you exactly do you mean that like that? Do you mean in general, or like, because other than in general, it totally depends on what type of game you're playing. But there is a in general answer I can give you. In general, I completely disregard the entertainment district. I will never, ever, ever, ever buy an entertainment district or build an entertainment complex. They're called, sorry. Entertainment complex. I think they're complete garbage. I never, ever, ever build them. I used to build them to try and get the Coliseum. I would always try and build one, but I got sniped by the AI on DD so many times when building the Coliseum that I just said, fuck it, I'm done with it, because like you build it so often that, or sorry, you build the entertainment complex to get the Coliseum, but then you get sniped on the Coliseum so often that it's doubly crippling, because not only do you lose out on all that production you built for the Wonder, you're then stuck with the completely fucking useless district that basically does nothing for you, because you achieve amenities through trading with other civilizations and getting their luxuries, which boosts your amenities, not to mention with policy cards. Like, it's just a waste of a district. It's a completely piece of shit garbage district. You'll never change my mind arguing against it, because like I said, you can just trade other civilizations for their amenities to make your people happy, or sorry, for their luxuries to get amenities to make your people happy. Plus you can use policy cards to get them all to a static anyways. You don't need an entertainment complex, so you're much better off getting another campus or another theater square or something that's going to give you science or culture or gold rather than amenities. Is this the next turn? Can we settle? No, it isn't, so we'll go ahead and skip turn with this guy. Alright, Petra City time, boys. And we also got our Pantheon. Hip hip hooray for us. Alright, so in 2 turns we're gonna transfer Liang down to our new city after this builder comes out, because we want the extra builder charge on that builder. So that should solve our loyalty problem here. Let's take a quick look. We pop over to loyalty. You can see it's -9 at the moment, and moving a governor there is +8, so it'll only be -1, and then once we get a population here, it should solve the issue. We'll put them on food focus for now, even though that doesn't really mean anything because of all the shitty tiles. And in the meantime, what we are going to do is... ... start work on a granary so that we can build our population up fast. The reason for this being that it has so many shitty tiles that I'd rather get its food up and grow it as quickly as we possibly can. So then we're in a better place once we do chop Petra out. We're in a better place to take advantage of all these lovely, lovely hill tiles. Speaking of which, we'll want to buy our way towards Norway as quickly as we can. Also, speaking of Norway, let's see if he'll declare friendships. Yes, I am a friend. Sexy. Or should I say, legendary. That's right. Legendary. So we're friends with him, which means we are safe even when we piss him off here and we go ahead and buy tiles. Which, speaking of which, I should take my own advice and start using the land surveyor policy card. So I missed something here. So Jackson says, you can only build so many, and I'm having a hard time choosing which district order for Incan. Very fun, by the way. Thanks for the recommendation. All right, well, Jackson, no problem. I'm happy I gave you the recommendation because you like to build tall, you said, so the Inca are a perfect civ for that. But what kind of game are you trying to win with the Inca? Like, are you trying to win a science game? Are you trying to win a culture game? A religion game? A domination game? I guess I didn't even ask. Are you trying to win a diplomatic victory game? I play that type of game so very unfrequently that I don't even consider it when I'm thinking about the types that are available. But all right, enough talk. We got our first builder here out of Port Royal. So let's go ahead and get that farm online to get the +1 era score. So we'll do that immediately. I was just thinking how ironic it would be to settle Port Royal on, like, over here if, like, this city would be Port Royal or something, and then there was an earthquake and it just disappeared. But small things entertain small minds, don't worry. Alright, so we also want to get that tile right there. Is there... Oops, no, I was gonna say, I was just checking to see if there was a civic we could switch into real quick so that we could change our policy cards, but there isn't. That's fine. Not ideal, but we'll survive, whatever. In the meantime, then, fuck it, let's... Oh, actually, never mind. We don't have a monument, so we're gonna get them to get a monument right away. And our Pantheon... Let us take a look. I am honestly not even sure. Oh, never mind. I was going to say, I'm not even sure which one we're going to go for, because I had been thinking about going for the Goddess of the Sea, or God of the Sea, whatever one it is. However, we really don't have that many sea resources near us. However, like, just looking through this, there is no other one. There's not even a debate in my mind. We're taking religious settlements. When chosen, receive a free settler in your capital. Not to mention, border expansion rate is 15% faster. So, 100% we are taking this. Like, there's nothing else that would even come close to changing my mind. Like, not even the slightest closest thing. So, yeah. We will... go ahead and grab that and take a free settler instantly. Thank you very much. And we will go ahead and head on over here towards these actually good tiles. So let's head up that way. As fairly quick as we can. Okay, so now that we have that city established, let's get him to switch to Cartagena over there. Ooh, some more barbarians! Nice! Because we are getting close to being able to build some ships and go. I love barbarians in this because it's a guaranteed free promotion in Navy games. So you just send your ships, you leave the barb camp up for as long as you can, and every time you produce a ship, you just send it to the barb camp to sit there and kill units until it gets its first promotion for free.
nothing but a plank between a sailor
All right.
and eternity.
All right. So we are going to go ahead and take... Ooh, that's a good... I think since we're building the granary enemy and are going to get food, I think we go to Portobello and take the 1 food and 2 production. I think that's right. Because we're going to be growing anyways, and even if we do grow, we don't have that many tiles to grow into and actually use. So let's go ahead and do that. It gives us the boost towards currency, which is a nice bonus. Now, our loyalty issues will disappear as soon as we get some more population there and send Liang over there in the next turn. In the meantime, we are going to go ahead and build this farm. Nice. Which gives us the boost towards irrigation, which is another era score. So we are only 5 era score away from getting a heroic age like a champ. Nemesis says, I'm about to try my first DD game. I give it 40 turns. Laugh out loud. Just kidding. Oh, you got this, Nemesis. Alright, so quickly here, some quick hints for you for your first DD game. It's not optimal or like efficient, but what you want to do is go towards, when you're first starting, go towards craftsmanship as quickly as you can, and then get the Agoj policy card here, plus 50% production towards ancient and classical era warrior units, and get yourself some slingers out. Like, you can, and then on the tech tree side of it, get towards archery. Like, I would honestly suggest beelining archery. Get it to the point where, like, you're just shy of researching it. Because you can hold off a DD AI attack with, like, 3 archers. Like, I would suggest, because you're not so comfortable, I would suggest getting 5 or 6 slingers and then upgrading them to archers. So I would do that, and then you're basically free to do whatever you want. You're completely safe. Once you have 5 or 6 archers, you could just fucking roll on a DD AI if they attack you early. And then after that, it's only the early game where they're very, very likely to attack you, because as you progress through the eras and you get further in the game, AIs are less likely to attack because of the grievances it generates, and you, by that time, you also have other, like, declared friends, and you form alliances and shit like that. So people, the AIs are less likely to attack you for that reason as well, because you have big friends. It's like, I've said this a few times, but it's like going back to elementary school, and, you know, you might be a small kid, but your best friend's a fucking big bastard, and nobody's gonna start a fight with you because your buddy, you'd fucking beat the Christ out of them the next day. It's the same kind of thing, right? So that would be my suggestion, Nemesis. But I have faith in you. I've never seen you play Civilization or hear you talk about what you do, but I have faith that you can do it. Up until this try, what's the highest difficulty level that you've played at and won? Alright, so we're gonna put that guy on Automate Exploration now. Alright, so Brazil wants our diplomatic favor, but no, sir, we are not going to give it up just like that. I think we can get more out of him another time. However, I do want him to pay for open borders. And see, so should I not make a settler until I got the archers? Oh no, you can still settle safely. Don't even worry about the archers. The slingers is the more important thing. What you want to do is, I would say for your first time ever playing the game, or playing on DD, I would say go for a build opening of, I would go Scout, Slinger, Settler, Slinger, and then go from there. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean get like 5 or 6 archers before anything else. I just mean make it a priority to get that a Gauge policy card that gives you the 50% production bonus towards those units, and then make a priority to get them out fairly quickly. But you still want to settle, so that's what I would suggest. I would go Scout, Slinger, Settler, Monument, Slinger. Yeah, that's what I would do. I would say that is a safe build opening, and then reassess after that, because you might not even have any close by neighbors. You might be completely okay to just skip the Slingers altogether and go in a different direction. But I just suggest overdoing it on the military units when you're brand new to a difficulty level, until you feel more comfortable playing on that difficulty level, and then you learn to cut back on the units you don't need and still feel comfortable playing. So speaking of Pedro over here, since he's being a douche and is only willing to give us 1 gold, we're going to pay him for his open borders, so we're going to give him 12 gold, but then that will improve our relationship with him, and then we're going to get him to pay us more after the fact, after our relationships improve. Out and about with my Scout. Laugh out loud. Thanks for the tips, man. No problem. Alright, so we are going to go into a settler here. Meanwhile, we are switching Liang over to card Agenda down there, so she'll fix the loyalty problem. Meanwhile, now that we have irrigation, we can get this sugar up online for them. With this builder, we're going to get them to go ahead and move on up to Portobello, so that we can be ready to get the mausoleum there after we get this civic and the one after it. What was the boost towards that other civic? Be the declaration of war. So yeah, no, that's not going to happen, probably. In the meantime, we can finally afford this tile, so we definitely want to go ahead and purchase it now. And now that we can, we are definitely going to place down our government plaza. That locks in the price, but we'll go ahead and finish the monument there. In the meantime, with this builder, we got 2 up here to do the chops for our city there. I think with this builder, let's head on down to the south, I guess, to be ready to do the chops. There's only 3 chops in Cartagena, so we'll head down there with that builder. Oh wait, we have 4 builds, so you know what? We'll make a pit stop. We'll get the Amber online with him, and then we'll have him in place that we can chop the 3 tiles for the Petra there. Ooh, I hear barbs. Is it on our island? Nope, unfortunately not yet. So that's fine. I'm glad the camp is still there and down there. We are definitely going to start producing our Navy units soon. Oops. Oh yeah, and now that we're at 5 population, I keep forgetting to do this. However, we are going to lock in all of our other tiles here so that they do not work the food tile. Alright, so we've got our Mercury up online. Let's go ahead and see if Harold has any. I know for a fact, so he does have the Amber, unfortunately. But he doesn't have the sugar, so let's go ahead and see how much cash we can get from him. So he'll do 161. Let's talk to Pedro. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's Pedro. It's not Pedro. I always thought it was Pedro, but it's not, because I heard Sean Bean pronounce it otherwise. And I was so sad. Let's see if our relationship has improved enough, and it has. So this is what I was talking about. Originally, when we offered to exchange open borders, he was going to pay us 1 bulk gold. But now, I paid him 12 bulk gold to pay for his borders. But having his borders gives us better relations with him, which then allows him to give us more money once our relations are improved. Now look at how much he's willing to pay us. So 34 gold. So now subtract the 12 bulk gold that I paid him for his borders, and you're still at 22 bulk gold rather than the 1 bulk gold that he was willing to pay just last turn. So that's the little trick that we do there. It is definitely worthwhile to do it. We'll go ahead and do that now, grab that from him, but now let's see what he'll give us here. Ooh, and he's definitely willing to pay us more money than Harold is. 9 gold per turn. Nice, so he's willing to do 187. Sorry, small things, small minds. 187 is the homicide code, but he's willing to do 187 compared to Harold's 161, so we will definitely go ahead and grab that. And while we're here, I guess, let's see how much he'll give us for our diplomatic favor. Nemesis says big brain? What? Big brain? Who has a big brain? I don't have a big brain. Some days I can barely tie my shoes, let alone talk. I don't have a big brain. Alright. Oops. Moving on to the next turn.
I'm also interested in creating a lasting...
We got bronze working now, so we can do our chops, but now let's see. Drum roll, please. Do we have any iron? And survey says Brazil is going to die. That's what the survey says. Brazil is going to die, and we are going to take their iron. If we can't get our ships, I'm going to be so pissed off. Like, really? Will you trade your iron? Probably not. And he won't even trade his iron? Fucking cocksucker. Alright, so we know who our first victim's gonna be. And unfortunately for us, we're gonna have to destroy them without being able to access our frigates, which is a little bit painful. However, I guess that's just the way it's gonna have to be. So we'll do what we have to do. In the meantime, we've got a ways to go before we even unlock our... Oh yeah, does it need iron? Niter! Yes! Not iron, niter. Beauty. Alright, so we want to get to military engineering as quickly as we can. So let us start actually paying attention to what we are doing and focusing on getting our the boost that we need. So building a pasture, building a water mill, building an aqueduct. Alright, so in order to do that, we need to build ancient walls, build an iron mine, which we can't do clearly. Right? I don't think we have a resource to mine. I think we covered that before. And we still don't. Oh wait, I guess we could if we settle this city. If we bought our way to this tile, we can... Oh yeah, that works. Alright, so we'll put a few turns into that, but meanwhile we are going to send our builder friend down here, and we'll get the diamonds up online. So Nemesis says, yes, you are smart. Well, then I'm tiny brain. No, don't be so hard on yourself, Nemesis. I've just played too much of this game, that's all. So Install Invader says, don't have iron. Well, howdy do. Look across the sea. Time to visit them with ships full of love and respect. And with that love and respect, get the iron. My thoughts, exactly. You can practically spit from Port Royal to Rio de Janeiro. It's time that we go say hi to our neighbors. Pretty soon, in fact. But it'll work out well. We need niter for our ships anyway. So we're going to let them have their iron for now. However, once we get games and recreation here, we are definitely going to switch our policy cards. And we're going to start producing some quadremes so that we can send them to get experience. So that when we do unlock our unique ships, we can get some badass... already have some badass promotions. Now, as far as who we are going to send the envoy to, let's send them to Antioch so we get +4 gold per turn. That's a lot better than +2 faith per turn now that we already have our Pantheon. Nemesis, laugh out loud, just like America when they see oil. Pretty much. Yeah. Oh, you have vast oil deposits? You need freedom, don't you? Oh, we sent this builder. I thought we were sending this builder over there to do that. My bad. Oh, well. Okay, we'll still send this guy down here. You know what? Meanwhile, let's go ahead and get animal husbandry on for them quickly. And we'll also send that guy down there as well. Ooh, there's a goodie hut that we can't get yet.
If there are no dogs in heaven.
Ooh, massive volcano eruption. Alright, we're one turn away from that. We'll go back into the wheel. Actually, we'll put one turn into archery, because we'll want to get some slingers before we upgrade that. In the meantime, we finished a monument here. Let's go ahead and lock in our pirate haven. And in the meantime, let's actually build our government plaza. Install Invader says, we should take the iron from Brazil and push it somewhere else. Patrick Starr, circa 1943 during the World War. I feel silly and uninformed, but who is Patrick Starr? You're gonna have to make me Google him on stream. I told you I didn't have a big brain, Nemesis. This just goes to show you. No, I'm kidding, but I literally have no idea who Patrick Starr is. Alright, so let's go ahead and found our city here. And we will immediately go for the granary first so that we can get as big as we can. Meanwhile, we're going to beeline for those diamonds. And we'll put him to sleep for now. Alright, so with this builder, we're going to go ahead and... Oh, should we actually get a mine instead? Hold on, we'll see here in a second. Nemesis says, laugh out loud, I only know the SpongeBob, so...
Bread is the first necessity of life. Recreation.
All right. So we got that done and out of the way. That is great. We are one step closer to getting our mausoleum there. So we can get rid of the shitty God King. We can get rid of Ilkham now that we've already gotten a whole bunch of builders from that. So we're going to go ahead and put in colonization so we can get the rest of these settlers out quickly. We're leaving in urban planning so that we have the +1 production in all cities. However, you know what? We're going to go ahead and put in a gauge first, because we will go ahead and get our slingers out here. I'm getting currency because we also want to get towards mathematics as well, which will give us a little bit of time to mine a resource. Although we still. Oh yeah, we found that one. Oh shit, shit. I forgot I didn't want urban planning. I wanted the 20% discount for buying cards. How much is it to fucking change it? Alright, so we'll go ahead and we'll get that online. It gives us era score anyways. But then with our other builder here, what we will do is we'll just go ahead and build a mine. Oh no, we won't. We'll come here. We'll wait until we expand here, either from this city or that city, and as soon as we expand there, we'll get those horses up online and then just switch control of that to this city here. As you can see, our population jumped up in the city, and so our loyalty is at full loyalty with the help of our governor here. Plus, she's also helping, or no, she's not. I was about to say she's also helping the border tiles expand faster, but I was getting her mixed up with Reina here at the land acquisition promotion. Install Invader says, laugh out loud, all you have to do is look up Patrick Star, push it somewhere else. And Nemesis says, ooh, I know what you were talking about, laugh my fucking ass off. Alright. We have to do this here. Oh yeah, so anybody who's not watching, or who's watching who doesn't already know, if you do want to do a favor to me and help support the channel more, you can click join to become a member.
Hey everybody, consider
and for $4.99, you can support the channel on monthly. There's a members-only live stream, and you also get access to these wonderful, wonderful, wonderful emojis, which you can use in chat to call me a dumbass and other fun things whenever I screw up, or the odd time when I actually do something right. However, we are going to go ahead and Google this right now. So Patrick Star, push it somewhere else. Oh, that's why you knew the SpongeBob. Okay, that makes sense. See, I'm not a huge SpongeBob fan. I didn't know that. See, look at Jackson and Nemesis are showing the money. Exactly. I'm chasing the green, man. I'm chasing the green. All right, let's continue on here. And also, too, if you guys haven't, please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button on the stream. I do appreciate it. It helps a small channel like me get discovered as much as I can. Okay, so we finished doing the lighthouse in Portobello, which is great. We're all set up and waiting to get defensive tactics. That is a lot of turns to wait for it, though, unfortunately. However, let's go ahead and grab another trader. Wait a second. Why can we build a second trader? Does our Pirate Haven district give us... Oh, because I just got a lighthouse. Holy shit. See, I told you I'm special. I am definitely not the brightest candle in the room. I'm going to call myself stupid here and put the stupid unicorn in the chat because I am special. Alright, I just finished building a lighthouse. That's why I can get a second trader. So let's go ahead and do that immediately. Wow. Alright. And then, so other than this, once we start finishing these projects in these cities, we want to get slingers in all of our cities. Starting here, so we're going to go ahead and grab a slinger. Same thing here, we're going to get a slinger. Meanwhile, we are taking this trader and we are sending this trader down to Cartagena as well. Now, unfortunately, I had screwed up and forgot to put the 20% discount on things. Actually, we're also going to buy that one while we're at it. So now we are going to mine this, which gives us the boost. So we're 29 of 32, so we are only 3 era score away from... Ooh, nice. We met a cultural city-state, so we'll go ahead and send them an envoy as soon as we have one to send. Recruit a great scientist isn't likely to happen for us, unfortunately. So speaking of which, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to declare war on them immediately. And so, what that does is now that clears the quest that they had for us, since we were never going to recruit a great scientist. Well, not likely anyways, as you can see. We only get plus 1.1 per turn, and yeah. So that way, in 10 turns, we'll make peace with Nanmodal, and then next era, we'll have a new quest for them.
Arch has any significance, it lies.
Nice. So we found Zanzibar here. And aside from meeting Zanzibar, we also... whatchamacallit? I'm having a brain fart. Also got another era score. That's what I was trying to say.
Wealth consists not in having great
Okay.
possessions.
We got currency. Now, let's go straight towards mathematics so that we can start the Petra down here for them as soon as possible. Alright, so they finished their government plaza. Let's go ahead and get a slinger going. Same thing in the capital. We'll take 1 turn to get a slinger. Meanwhile... oh, we could actually build a city right there. But meanwhile, which of these 2 cities has the better start? I would say this one. So we'll go ahead and settle that city first. We did get another governor promotion here because we built the governor plaza. So let's take a little look. And I think what we're going to do, because we're getting the builder down here to chop the Petra out, but where's the next city? So we're chopping the Petra, we're chopping that city. I guess let's get Liang so that she can spread. We'll appoint, or Reina, not Liang, Jesus. But we'll appoint her to the Maracaibo so that it expands faster. And then once we actually get the city settled, we'll move her down there so that they grow their borders quicker and can become good cities. Alright, so we have 1 charge left with this douche. Let's go ahead and get him to go get that sugar up online and we'll sell it. Meanwhile, we did just get diamonds up online, so let's go ahead and talk to Pedro here. And, ooh, nice. 12 gold per turn. All right, Pedro, you lovely, lovely man. So now it's 480 gold for us to get... Nice, he wants our horses too. But as I was trying to say before I distracted myself, it's 480 gold to purchase our first quad dream. So we are going to take them for all we can. What would you give me? 2 and... Nice. All right. So let us get our first quad dream and let's send it down. I suppose down here. Let's go ahead. How fitting that we get our first quad dream from Port Royal. So let's go ahead and grab it here. 480 gold well spent. So what we are going to do is head on over to that barbarian to start farming there. In the meantime, we're going to send this one to Port Royal for +2 food and +2 production. So Bonzi says, I got a serious question for you, bro. Trailer Park Boys or Letterkenny? Trailer Park Boys all day, every day. I fucking hate Letterkenny. I fucking hate that show. My friend loves it. Like, loves it. And he's tried, like, at least 5 times to get me hooked on the show and actually watch it. And, like, even, like, we'll be drunk after, like, watching football or something. He'll like, go ahead and put it on, and I'm like, no, just, ugh. Like, I don't understand it. I don't find it funny. I find it fucking irritating. But Trailer Park Boys, I love. Like, yeah. So, I think that emphatically answers your question. I 100% choose. Oh boy, we still need one. We got 8 more turns, and we need 1 era score. Well, we found another cultural city-state, which is good news. Damn. Alright, well, first things first. Let's go ahead and get a monument here in Cartagena. Now... Oh, I know what we can do. Okay, has everybody done their archers? We just need to upgrade 3 archers, and that's the boost for machinery, which would give us a boost. Which will give us the boost for machinery here. We just have to upgrade 3 archers, so that's fine. Yeah, so we're all good. And now we boosted that, so let's go ahead and get the wheel. What were we doing right now? Mathematics. Yeah, so we're gonna do archery first, then we'll finish mathematics. Slinger. That's enough of an army for now. Meanwhile... hold on. Oh yeah, their builder got out of there, eh? Let's go ahead and get them get working on another builder. In the meantime, I actually want to switch this. I'm changing my mind. We're going to go ahead and flip-flop Reina. We're going to move Reina down to Cartagena so that they start expanding their borders quicker, so that we get more of these awesome Petra tiles. The faster we get them, the better, as far as I'm concerned. And then we'll go ahead and move Liang into our capital, because it has the highest production out of all of our cities, so we'll be able to build builders the quickest there. And then we can just transfer them up to Portobello to do the chopping. Speaking of which, though, what we are going to do is go ahead and get this builder to come to this tile, because I'm going to build our campus here from Portobello. Alright, in the meantime, we also need money to upgrade these archers. We can at least upgrade one of them next turn, that's fine.
May the forces of evil become
Alright, so now back into mathematics, because we want the Petra. So what about you, Bonzi 420? What do you prefer? Trailer Park Boys or Letterkenny? And don't be afraid to say you like Letterkenny just because I hate it. I won't hold it against you, I promise. Well, maybe not, we'll see. So Machu Picchu and the Great Library is gone. Oh, epic failure. How did we not have our slingers done? Oh, my bad. Oh well. Too late now, that's fine. Not the end of the world. So we'll have 2 slingers there, and now we just have to upgrade one of them. So we'll go ahead and upgrade this guy. And then next turn we'll have the boost, which will give us our 30-second arrow score, securing us our heroic age. Alright, beauty. We got the boost of machinery, and now we have our heroic age all settled in nicely. Let's go ahead and $120 to buy that tile. Oh, that's painful. So we'll do that there. Meanwhile here, let's go ahead and get them to work on their pirate haven. We'll get the sugar up online. Now, I think we gave the sugar to Brazil last time. Yeah, we did. So let's go ahead and do this. And he's being stingy. Butt wipe. So let's go ahead and grab the gold here. 29 gold. All right. Okay, wait. Did I not? Okay, what? Hold on. Did I not trade that? Am I that blind? I am out to lunch. Okay, we'll take it for 20 more gold. And I guess He's only willing to offer 4. Let's go ahead and wait for another turn, and we'll check back in with him. Meanwhile, though, let's go ahead and start moving our archers down south. I want to get our troops in position to start moving on Yerevan, because we will definitely be taking them over before we do anything else. Meanwhile, we do have 120 gold, so let's just go ahead and grab this archer and this archer as well. And same thing here. Let's get our troops to start moving south. And meanwhile, since we can embark, let's get our warrior to head out into the sea. Alright, let's talk to Norway here. And let's see if he's willing to give us any more money. No, he's not. Alright, we might as well take his cash. Whatever. We'll take his cash. Better than nothing. Meanwhile, let's take a quick look at the score screen here. So Pedro's score is 53. And Harold's is 64. So they are both going into golden ages, I would assume, as well. Meanwhile, here in... we are going to make sure that Portobello owns that tile, which they didn't, so that's good. And then what we are going to do is wait for 2 more turns. Once they build this builder, we are then going to chop this forest and apply that production into the campus that we want to build on top of it. So for now, we will go ahead and put that builder to sleep. Meanwhile, let's get this archer over here. Once we have our 3 archers down here, we are probably just going to declare war on Yerevan, and that way we'll start... they only have 5 warriors, so we'll start thinning them out while they're down here away from their city. And meanwhile, our warrior is in the water and is nice and safe from their units. Alright, so nice. Our quadrime is here, so we are going to go ahead and start getting some experience for free. Alright, 4 turns until the classical era is over, so we're almost in our heroic age. Nice, I just noticed that we expanded and took over the horses, so we're going to go ahead and get those up online, and then we're also going to swap that tile so that Cartagena owns it and can get better faster, and will help us build the Petra faster once we have mathematics taken care of. Now, speaking of the Petra, we are going to place it right here. Am I blind? I am blind. Oh, there it is. Yeah. We got her. We're going to put the Petra right there. By the way, I just have to say, I really, really, really like the colors of the pirates. Like the black and white. Fucking love that color scheme. It is looking very, very nice. In fact, I would even say it's looking legendary. But hey, that's just me being stupid. Oops. Legendary. Alright. Moseying along here. Let us continue. So, close to the Petra, that will be nice, but we're also close to our mausoleum here, and we're definitely going to be chopping that out first. Bonzi got back to me. He answered the question when I said, what about him? What does he prefer? Trailer Park Boys or Letterkenny? He says, Trailer Park Boys all day. Bubbles and Ricky are national treasures. I agree, sir. 100% wholeheartedly. So, Bonzi, are you Canadian then? Out of curiosity? Because you said our national treasures, and it's a Canadian show. Alright, so we're going to get our archers moving a little bit closer there. Same thing with that guy over there. Again, just continuing our target practice here. We want to get our ship leveled up as quickly as we can. In 2 turns, we're also going to be putting on the Navy policy card, which gives us plus 100% production towards 120, Jesus Christ. Plus 100% production towards Navy ships, so that will be nice. Let's go ahead and take some of your gold, sir. So Nemesis laughs out loud that they're national treasures. They are. Bubbles and Julian and Ricky are icons. Okay, so hold on. He'll give 2, and what will Harold give? Oh, he has lots of horses. Never mind. Alright. There's nothing like trading horses when you're gonna be attacking them with ships in the near future. Speaking of which, after mathematics here for the Petra, we needed to beeline it to military engineering, so let's see what else we need to build. We need the aqueduct, which we need city walls for. We need a water mill. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to finish mathematics. Then we are going to build, gonna get masonry, and then the wheel, and then engineering. And I think that would give us the boost towards everything other than... yeah. Alright, so what did we finish here in the city? We finished our monument, which is nice. Now, as far as our districts here go, like, ugh. I suppose if we bought a tile, we could build a pirate haven. If we bought that tile. Yeah, why not? We'll get them a pirate haven. I was considering getting a campus. However, I don't want to override our sexy Petra Hill tiles just for a freaking campus. And, like, we can build a campus here, but I don't want to override that tile so early either. But that's probably what we will do at some point. Just because we do need science in order to help us get to our good ships quicker. And keep up with our military once we do start dominating them. Alright, in the meantime... yeah, this douche is going there. And we only need one more settler. Why did I start building this builder? Oh yeah, because we need builders to chop this. Alright, so now, while we've just finished producing this builder, we're going to wake this builder up here, and now we're going to chop that forest. And we're going to apply that production to their campus. So there we go. Now, in the meantime, you can now go to that deer tile over there, and you can go to the stone. And in 2 turns, we'll begin work on the mausoleum. Alright, now you, sir, have 3 builds left, and they're all going to be spent chopping. But not anytime soon anyway, so you might as well go sit on the forest there. Meanwhile, let's just continue slowly inching up with our archers. Again, slowly getting experience here with our ship on our way to +1. Greetings. Sure, it's an honor to meet you. Sure, let's exchange information. So England is way down there. That is just fine. Again, we are not... oh, she's poor. Oh, she won't even give us 75 gold for a luxury? Ugh, never mind. But what we will do is... oops. We will pay for her open borders, and then she'll buy our open borders in a turn or two. Alright, so we want to get these archers to head down yonder so that they can start approaching Yerevan from the north side here, while we come at them from the south side with this set of archers. Alright, just so everybody has the heads up, I will be cutting the stream off fairly shortly here. I'm considering doing it when we get to our next golden age here. Oh, Yerevan has archers. Good to know, because we'll need to definitely one-shot that archer when we declare war on them. In the meantime, this builder can sleep. Oh, Bonzi says, I'm American, so I guess they're international treasures. There you go. Or at least North American treasures. But international treasure sounds better. It sounds more official and exotic.
Without mathematics,
all right.
Nothing you can do. Invincibility lies in the defense. The possibility of victory in the attack.
Okay, so now let's take a quick look here. We do have, we do have 2 civics that we can quickly switch in and quickly switch out of. So what I want to do is we're going to come in here, we're going to go to government, we're going to change the policies, we're getting rid of a gauge, and we're going to slip in limes quickly. We're leaving everything else the same for now. We're going to confirm this. Alright, now with lime slotted in, oh, we don't even have the technology, do we? Fuck me running. Well, I got ahead of myself there. That is definitely a special moment. So I slotted in the Limes policy card to get 100% production towards defensive buildings because I wanted to produce the city walls quickly and then switch out of it quickly. But we don't even have the technology needed to build the city walls. So I just completely switched in and locked in this useless technology. That it's like totally useless for 3 fucking turns. Alright, meanwhile, I guess we'll start putting points into feudalism. And definitely start our last settler here in the capital. Meanwhile, this builder can come up here, I suppose. Because now here we are definitely going to start this. So what we are going to do is make sure it'll work out. This builder will be in place so that we Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to pay for this. How much is it to change our policies? Alright, next turn we're going to have to change policies because I forgot to slot in Corvée, the Corvée policy card for our Wonder Building as well. So that's another huge screw up on my part. Meanwhile, we finished our Pirate Haven here. Let's go ahead and get to work on the Warlord's Throne. Meanwhile here, let's go ahead and get them a monument. Nemesis says, well, I enjoy the content. I hope your day goes good after the stream. Thanks, Nemesis. And then he puts up a unicorn to call me special. You're right. You're right. That was definitely a screw up. But yeah, I'm actually gonna just relax and frickin' watch some, the hell is it called? Some Altered Carbon. Has anybody here ever watched the show Altered Carbon? It is like a sci-fi show, but like with lots of violence and blood and gore and lots of sex and stuff. But it's a very good show, I think, anyway, in my opinion. But anyways, I'm about to go watch that because the second season comes out in 2 days. It comes out on the 27th. And so I went back and I've watched like half of the first season. So I want to finish the second half of the first season in the next 2 days before that starts, so I'm all refreshed on what happened. Meanwhile here, let's go ahead and place our Petra down. So we'll get that going. What we will do, though, is go ahead and get this Pirate Haven finished first, because it earns us great Admiral points, so we'll go ahead and do that. And there we go. So Jackson Reeves says, I saw the pilot. Okay, and you didn't really care for it, Jackson? Alright, so we're going to move up on the hill. We're going to move up on that hill. And our archer, our third archer is finally getting within range. So nice, they spawned another unit or brought their swordsman back, so that's perfect for us. Let's start taking shots at the swordsman. Okay. Nemesis says, that's cool, it sounds interesting. Is that on Netflix? Yes, it is on Netflix. I'd highly suggest go watching the trailer. Like, watch the trailer for season 1 and see if you like it. But it's a really cool concept. So the concept of the show is it's in the future, and mankind has developed a technology where our human consciousness is like, bodies are basically just like they call them, what do they call them in the show? Sleeves, they call them. But bodies are basically interchangeable. They're useless because our consciousness is all put into a stack. Like it's like this little chip basically that like you put your consciousness into this little chip, and then you can just transfer that chip into body after body after body. So if you're rich enough and can afford it, you're like literally like not invincible, but immortal. However, if your stack, that's that little chip, is damaged, you really kill a person. Like if that stack is destroyed, you can never come back, and it's located in the neck. So that's how you kill somebody. But it's a really cool concept. And what in the oh, nice. So Norway levied all of their units. So let's just move out of the way here. We're gonna let them pass by, because Norway levied all of Yerevan's units for us. So now we can just go declare war on them, and it's just us against their city. There's no military units to defend it. So that is awesome. But anyways, this is where I'm going to put a cut in for tonight. We're going to call it a night here. We'll save this as YouTube Pirates, and we will come back to it. If not beforehand, on Wednesday night, I'll stream again. I probably will wait until Wednesday and not stream tomorrow night because I want to, like I said, I've been feeling kind of shitty. I think I might be getting the flu a bit, so I want to take her easy and try and fight that off. But not to mention, I'm trying to, I have 2 videos that I'm currently working on at the same time. I'm almost on the script for the first one, which is another tips and tricks video, which I should have out probably tomorrow, I would guess, Wednesday at the latest for that one. However, the other one I'm doing is a religious strategy guide video where it's basically going to be like a complete overview of how to win how to win religious games, and everything's going to be broken down, like city states you want to try and go for, wonders you want to try and go for, different apostles and the different promotions you try, and like good things to do in there. But then everything's going to be broken down too into like all the different things that you should be trying to do in the different ages. Like, so like in the ancient era you do X, Y, and Z, and then in the classical era try to do this as much as you can, and vice versa. And then you, generally speaking, win the game in either the very late medieval era or the very early Renaissance era. So it's a fairly quick strategy. So Jackson says, it was cool, but the concept made me very uncomfortable. Okay, and then Jackson says war and drops another nuclear bomb emoji in chat. As you can see, war. So yes, we will definitely be going to war with Yerevan. I can't believe that worked out so perfectly though, and there's 29 more turns, so they can't get their military back for 29 more turns, which makes it perfect for us that we'll be able to go in here once we let them move out of the way. We'll just completely come in and surround the city and then get her done. Speaking of which, when we also get this masonry, we should build a battering ram to help our warrior as well. But, anywho, like I said, is where I'm going to call it a night, so thank you all for tuning in. I'm just going to shut up now, and I'll see you next time.